about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
You know, usually you'd expect me to open this up with what's good for nation, but I ain't even vibing right now. Like, man, all I'm gonna say is this: two-goal leads, up 3-2 with 6 minutes left. Inexcusable, absolutely inexcusable, man. So I ain't gonna go any deeper than that on this, but I am like, 20-year-old reason would have thrown a controller tonight, but my wife, literally, they don't shoot very much on their power play. And then Panarin, I said, oh yeah, I said, watch, here it comes. Boom, Panarin snipes it. I looked at her and said, see, I told you. As soon as they tied that game, I knew we lost. So that is pain. That is pain when you're a franchise with championship expectations and things that should have been corrected, but don't get corrected over the last couple of years. And this is the result. So, anyways, that's all I got to say about that. I am not in a good mood right now. But other than that, I hope everyone's having a fantastic Sunday night. I mean, up until the point of this game, I was in Melvin Ingram signing is absolutely fantastic. We're going to get into it tonight. I'm going to explain why. Topher, the Panthers still watch. The Lightning going to whoop that ass like they did last year. All you people don't realize, we were probably all of the best hope for the Lightning not coming out of the East. So all you Panther fans, remember what they did to y'all last year, okay? They're coming off back-to-back championships. So let's ease the brakes right now, okay? They got life. So, and we were probably the best chance. We beat them before. We beat Vasilevsky before. So enjoy, Panther fans. Oh, now we're going to have to watch. I swear to God, if we have to watch the Tampa Bay Lightning three-peat, I'm going to throw up. Anyways, now I'm really done. At least the Heat are probably, I've got a good chance. Shout out to the Suns for absolutely killing my 4-game $550 parlay on a $50 bet. Holy, remind me never to take them as favorites of 6.5 ever again. Whoo, that one hurt. I covered everything. I covered the Celtics. I covered the Penguins game, and it looks like I'm right now. I'm covering the Calgary game, but the Suns. Shout out to CP0, not 3, because he didn't show up. Oh, today was a bad night in sports, but it was a good day. Melvin Ingram, this is a huge signing, and I'm going to explain why this is such a fantastic signing. I'm a huge fan of this. The depth, don't you see right now? Don't you feel it right now? Gone are the days of let's just get a bunch of young guys and a few veterans. Am I the only one looking at this roster on both sides and saying this is a healthy mixture of young guys and veterans right now? Like this is huge. Like I'm looking at this roster right now, and I keep saying to myself, guys, can I tell you this right now? I'm going to put it this right now. We are, I'm telling you right now, we are like a for sure competent starting center and right tackle away from an AFC East title. I'm telling you right now. The more I look at this, tell me where our holes are right now. Sure, we're a little weak at the second level, but Channing Tindall is a good addition. And when you look at Boyer's history, going to be a lot of cover zero. We're going to be coming for throats. It looks like we're going to be a very aggressive. The Cam Good selection looks like we're going to be a very aggressive pass rushing team. And Melvin Ingram still gets it done. I am telling you right now, we are a center and a left tackle away from we're as good as any Super Bowl contending roster you can name. Holy right now. I mean, this was already an A+ season. I know everyone wants a center or right tackle, but the thing at the end of the day, we can't get everything. It's already an A+ to me. If they go out and get a center, or, if they get Tretter, and I'm going to talk about that in a second here, that's an A++. So what happened with me today, my Patrons, you guys already got the update a couple hours ago. What happened with me today was I got a text message at exactly timestamp at 1:07 p.m. But I was so busy today. That's why I didn't go live earlier for the Melvin Ingram. I literally had someone downstairs doing some work, like literally about 14 feet away from my setup. So that couldn't pop off. And then obviously the Penguins game after. So that's why we're getting a little bit of a late one right now. But, man, what happened was I got a text message at about 1:07 and multiple things were said in the text message. And, I'll basically go over a little bit over here. Specifically, what I know what people want to hear about is JC Tretter. I got some offensive line stuff in there, but go check it out. But I'll give you the Tretter news. Now, if you remember, I reported on Patreon and when I'd been live before, I'd been hearing, I'd reported Tretter turned us down. Money was a big issue. And in continuing digging, I found out another thing, because at the end of the day, I kept scratching my head. Well, if you just overpay, I mean, whatever, right? And apparently, from what I've been told, a turnoff to Tretter is, you look at where his health is and such. A turnoff to Tretter is playing in Miami and the heat and the conditioning of the heat. I was told, literally, he's not a fan of the heat in Miami. And I ain't talking about the basketball team. And, I shout out to Hiley. I told Hiley this, and when we talked, Hiley Brett, and he said, some players, he responded to my Patreon post, and he said some players just aren't built for the Miami Heat. And it's kind of, at first I was kind of like, any kind of money, whatever, right? Like, still, at the end of the day, guys, you throw the bag at the guy and no one else is throwing a bag, he's going to suck it up for 1 year in the Miami Heat. Let's just put it that way. But this kind of explains why there hasn't been a lot of traction, why it's been kind of stalled, yet it's such a need and stuff like that beyond the money, right? Like, 'cause if it was just money, you could just overpay. The only reason I get it, in a sense, is because he doesn't practice all week. So he's not going to get, you got to think about it from a conditioning standpoint. When is he going to get in the conditioning? He's going to have to practice. Like, you're going to have to be out there during the July and the August and the September months, because you're going to have to get used to that heat. You're going to have to get used to that heat. So I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of get it. To me, it sounds more of like a weary thing of like, my conditioning won't be right. I'm going to look sloppy if I'm in there for 1 year because I don't practice. You know what I mean? And I pointed this out before. I mean, let's just play the hypothetical. If we're all a bunch of players, do any of us really want the players union president sitting next to us in the locker room? I know I'd kind of feel like, I don't know about this guy. But that was a holdup, I was told, was the whole aspect of the Heat and Miami Heat, and just because he doesn't practice weekly. So remember, this is a guy who wasn't practicing. He was just showing up on Sunday. Let's go. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's more of a conditioning standpoint, more so than his injury. But his injury is why he would lack the conditioning. But, this is a guy who just wants to strap them up and go. But as a 1 year stopgap, throw the bag at him. I mean, there's got to be a certain number he's not going to say no to. And then the other finicky point you run into, and I haven't actually asked on this, I should. Fuck, I've asked about numbers, but I've never asked, is he looking for a multi-year deal? That's a really good question. I should be asking. I can't believe I didn't ask that. Is he asking for a multi-year deal? So remember, like, this guy's not going to be practicing. Like, so, him being weary of the Miami Heat, I kind of get it a little bit. Other offensive line stuff I heard. I heard some stuff. I got a report there about like a little info about Hunt and Jackson and such, and the Solomon McKinley mentioning, which is rare. And actually, I got some news on Hunter Long on that Patreon on that post about JC Tretter. So go check it out if you are a Patreon. Go check it out. I posted it like an hour and a half ago. So that's where the whole Tretter thing is sitting at right now, from what I'm being told. Personally, if a guy isn't willing, if I don't know, man. I saw what Florida Born said in the comments, and it kind of makes sense. You want him putting in that extra work with your quarterback. You need him putting in that extra work with your quarterback. And, I've said this before, you look at it, slim pickings out there, guys. Unless you're going to trade for someone, and they've already been pretty adamant that they're not touching their draft capital for next year, so I don't think they will. What are the options? The options are you wait out training camp and you hope someone gets cut. That's where we're at right now. Otherwise, you continue the progression of Michael Dieter. And I said this before, especially with the right tackle position, I think people are underselling what Kellen Diesch is going to bring to the table. I think him, Veron McKinley, and Zacondre White. Well, I think Zacondre White's going to battle for RB4, and then he'll end up on the practice squad. I think Braylon Sanders is going to fight for a spot, but he'll end up on the practice squad, and they'll continue his development. But I truly think Veron McKinley and Kellen Diesch are going to make this team, and I really think Kellen Diesch is going to give Eichenberg, or at least Eichenberg, a run for his money, because I'm hearing lukewarm things on Austin Jackson, and that right now Hunt, they are going to tinker potentially with Hunt at right tackle, see where it goes, and if that happens, then that means Kinley is going to slot in and be in the competition at right guard. So it's interesting how all that's happening. But the thing is, maybe Matt Applebaum said that they saw, obviously negative stuff, but they saw a lot of things they like on tape. I think Dieter's better as a guard right now. You know what I mean? And as he continues learning the center position, and you know what I mean? I point back to it. If anyone watched the film and really paid attention to the film, and again, things to look for. And I pointed out on our film study sessions with Ball Game and Martin, look at what they were doing with the silent snap, right? They were doing the silent count when Dieter was out of the lineup, right? When they were rotating between guys, what's his face? Not Skuro. What was the guys? Help me out. What was the dude from KC that we had last year? I forget his name. But when they started rotating guys, the center from KC that we had last year, when they started, Austin Reeder. When they started rotating Reeder in, they started doing like silent counts and all that kind of jazz. Like they started doing more complicated stuff on the line when they had a veteran on there. Now, obviously, this is a new regime, but what my whole point is, because of where Dieter's at in his developmental stage, let's be honest. I mean, there's certain things that you're not going to be able to do right away, and there's certain things he can't do right away, and you can't really expect him to because he has such limited reps at the position. I mean, he didn't even play all 17 games last year. He was hurt. So you got a guy who's on limited reps, and up until that, he hadn't played the position really since early on in his collegiate career. what can you really expect, man? What can you really expect? So, the key thing is maybe you wait it out, and guys always get cut during camp. There's always surprise cuts. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not buying in the hype that Connor Williams is going to be at center. I can't. I can't get behind that because I do not see. They're already so brilliant and smart. You really think they're going to tinker with a guy who's one of the best run blocking guards in the NFL and shift him to center based upon because Dallas last offseason cross-trained him at center a little bit? I don't buy that, man. Again, I don't see that happening. If you know for sure you got the left side locked down, why would you want to then throw in Austin Jackson inside? Or Eichenberg in a guard. But you see where I'm going there? If I know I can have the left side locked down, that's going to at least make Dieter and the left side locked down and then Hunt next to him. I feel comfortable with Dieter a little bit more with those guys. You know what I mean? Not, Connor and then, and then Jackson, right? And obviously Armstead can be left one-on-ones on an island and such, so you can shift, help, which is whatever. But I just don't see them tinkering with that. So that's why I'm not buying into this center hype. And again, you look at our depth chart. Someone tell me where even our emergency center is right now, especially after they just got rid of Ty Clary. They knew Ty Clary was failing his physical. So what do you think they're gonna do? Right? It honestly doesn't. Personally, it doesn't make sense to move Connor Williams. You paid him based off what he's done on left guard. You can clean up the penalties. That's fine. That can get cleaned up with coaching. Don't mess with that. I know that left side is solid right now. That's one of the best left sides in football. If some guy like me on YouTube knows that, what do you think they know? Come on. Let's think about this for a second here. Right? So yeah, I just so from what I've been told, I don't see I don't know if I see JC Tretter working out if he wants money and he's also got heat. He's also got a problem with the heat in Miami, which some players are obviously going to have. Philip Leduc says $5. Living in Tampa is great so long as I can piss off David Cronenberg and jack up his darkness for his next movie. I've actually never been to Tampa. Philip says, I think that moving Connor to center is the way to go. We have guards, talent to kill. Hunt will be the right tackle. The writing is already on the wall. Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. I think, once you move Eichenberg in, you limit him even more. So he becomes a wash. I wouldn't say the writing's on the wall, man. I think the writing's more so on the wall that they're going to give every opportunity for Austin Jackson to win the right tackle spot. So, I think, and you want my honest opinion? If you ask me if I could go get a premium center or a premium right tackle right now, I would actually take the right tackle. I think right tackle is more of an issue. You get your bookend guys, and if you surround two bookend tackles, Hunt and Connor Williams at guard, we can all live with Dieter for a year. We can live with that for a year. You really can. So I don't see it as like, let me put it this way. Dieter been playing his position. He's at less than Austin Jackson been playing tackle and guard. And I like Dieter better. Not to say he's good. Oh, but the thing is right now, where we're at the stage right now, guys, we're at the stage with where the market is and everything like that. Unless things change with Tretter, you're rolling with what you got and you're hoping some names become available during camp. Again, guys and girls, we can't fill out everything here. I mean, we've added 3 running backs. We've added a Hall of Fame caliber left tackle. We've added one of the best run blocking left guards in football. I mean, we've added Tyreek Hill, a guy on a Hall of Fame trajectory. We've added Cedrick Wilson. You know what I mean? We added Alec Ingold. We've now added Melvin Ingram, which we're about to talk about. We re-signed like Rogba. We re-signed. We took care of X. I mean, what is there really? You're not going to be able to solve every single thing. That's the issue. It is what it is. There's going to have to come a time where we got to believe in coaching. So I hope they fill them, but I also believe in our staff. So let's get into Melvin Ingram specifically. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Already 540 of you in the room at 10:41 Eastern. I appreciate all of you guys supporting. Let's get into this. All right, guys. So shout out to JoeyShotz because he blocked me on Twitter a while ago when I called him out for some false reporting on the Dolphins. So let's go to Marcel Louis-Jacques. Next man up. League source confirms the Dolphins have agreed to a contract with Melvin Ingram. Schultz report was on it first today. Because I was actually out running errands and the homie EM messaged me. So like I was super busy today. I didn't go live earlier. A 3-time Pro Bowler, Ingram spent last season with the Steelers and the Chiefs. He has much needed depth to Miami's pass rush rotation. Guys, it's deeper than that. I want y'all to know. Melvin Ingram, he generated 51 pressures on 460 pass rushing snaps last year. So he generated a pressure on one pressure on every 9 snaps. All right. I want y'all to think about this. Emmanuel Ogbah, how much we love Ogbah, right? He had 61 pressures on 524 pass rushing snaps. That was one every 8.6 snaps. This is a huge, huge addition to this team right now. And the flexibility it gives us, guys, I want y'all to know this man is a stand-up rusher, but let's remember here too. This man moves around, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This guy offers you, you're talking about what happens now. Think about this. The flexibility you have on one side. I want y'all to think about this right now. On one side, you can have him and Ogbah. Sorry, him and you can have Melvin Ingram and Van Ginkel rotating. Obviously, you're going to shift them around and stuff. But I'm just painting a picture here. Remember, if you go back to my prospect preview last year of Jalen Phillips, one of the things I pointed out was, okay, you want him opposite of Ogbah because they can wreak havoc. But you want to have packages where Phillips is the end and Ogbah is the edge, or vice versa, where Ogbah is the end, and, Phillips is the edge next to each other. And when they ran that package last year, and even EM has pointed out to me, he's like, man, what a good call by you. When they ran that package, every time they ran that package last year, guys, they had a ton of success. So what this now does for you is this allows you to flex more. Think of it. Now, not only can I line up, because remember, Phillips can play end too. I can have Melvin Ingram next to him. I can have Van Ginkel next to him. I can have Ogbah next to him, or I can flex Ogbah in that end, and I can have Melvin Ingram next to him. I can have Phillips next to him, right? And on the other end, you obviously have Wilkins, and then with the other edge rusher next to him. You see where I'm going here? Or Seiler, you know what I mean? Instead of Wilkins. But you see the flexibility that's opened up here right now, especially on situations where it's a pass rushing situation where you can just pin the ears back and let it rip, especially for what we want to run with our zero blitzes. This adds another layer. Like, guys, we might have one of the most lethal pass rushes this year. This is scary, scary stuff that we're about to field right now. I mean, people sleep on Melvin Ingram and they think he's a little bit washed, I don't know what they've been looking at, man. First of all, no problem. He can come off the left, left or right edge. He can even play snaps inside. You can flex him inside if you need to, though he's obviously best utilized coming off the edge. But I mean, he offers you flexibility when you want to do a 3-4-4-3 hybrid too. There's ways you can use him in that too. Melvin Ingram, and he's a seasoned vet. Another guy. Man, he's 33, but he's still got it in the tank right now. Anyone telling you any different, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. He was awesome at KC. So good that they put teams rarely use the UFA tender. Remember, he had 320 pass rushing snaps with them, and he had 33 pressures. So if you actually go by, that's, again, look at 4 sacks, 5 hits, 24 hurries, just with the Steelers last year. I mean, you look at his pass rushing grade. He's had a pass rushing grade of 73.1 plus in every season since 2014. He's had an overall grade of 70.5 plus every season since 2015. Like, this is a fantastic addition. This is a sneaky, sneaky good signing. And I'm happy they got this done. It's another layer that's added to this defense. It's going to be very hard for offenses to adapt to. I mean, guys, the pressure, we're going to see offensive lines on their heels. I mean, those offensive lines are, and think of the help it's going to provide, a guy like Wilkins, who's gotten better as a pass rusher each year. It'll help a guy like that too. And he's no slouch against the run either. At all. At all. Right? I mean, last year, he had 16 run stops. And again, he was only in 144 run defense situations. Talking about a guy who has a run defender, he's better than competent. Though obviously that's on his strengths. But he's better than competent. So, I can't speak enough volumes. And again, the difference of this regime already, look at Mike McDaniel bringing in that blend of veterans and their leadership and mixing it with the youth we have sprinkled about this team. This is just a fantastic signing. I can't applaud them enough for this. And I'm really interested to see the flexibility. And now, man, we're scary. We are scary. I mean, I want to see Ogba used as an end a little bit more. And I want to rotate Ingram, Phillips, and AVG as our edges. And then kick Phillips in when I can here and there at an end. And, on pass rushing situations. I mean, think of our pass rushing situation right now. Like, if I get you pinned back, 3rd and 9, I can literally trot out there. I'll just give you the front. Let's say I'm going to 3-4. I could trot out there just on a pass rush. I know I got to pin my ears back. Ogba, one end. Raekwon in the middle. Phillips at the other end. Then AVG and Melvin Ingram coming off the edges. Holy. How do you stop that? And then when I know you're running. Raekwon up the middle. Wilkins to one side. I could go Seiler to the other side. Ogba and Phillips on each end. On each edge. Or Ogba in for Seiler. And then Phillips and Melvin Ingram or AVG on the other side. to stop the run. I mean, they're going to open up. They're going to clear the traffic for the linebackers to scrape and make some plays. Baker might be the cleanest up front he's ever been as a Miami Dolphin. For a guy who can't play well through traffic or shed blocks, that could be a huge help. Look at Channing Tindall and that athleticism, and you can unleash it. Against the run. Landon Roberts, another guy who can't play through traffic well and shed blocks. He might have some clean lanes towards the runner. So, because the guys up front are going to be putting in that work. Very interesting. It's very, very interesting to see, what's going to happen too. And remember, Melvin Ingram's no slouch in coverage when he's been asked to be in coverage as well too. Let's remember that as well, guys. The guy has 4 career interceptions. So, and I mean, he's obviously he's not like, oh my God, you're epic, but again, better than competent in coverage when he's asked to in the flats or buzz or whatever. So, I like it, man. And the things he's going to be able to teach the kids in that room are invaluable. You can't put a price tag on it. You can't put that. You can't put a price on what he'll be able to pass off to a guy like Jalen Phillips. Christian Wilkin even. Help him get refined better. Help him with his pass rush moveset. I'm just saying. Gary, I don't think Tua is the only question mark on this roster. I think you got a couple question marks. Obviously, center and right tackle. We health. You know what I mean? Raheem Mostert, health. Let's be honest. Receiver room. Please, everyone stay healthy. We know you got clean bills of health, but let's go. I don't think, the second level, again, are we going to be able to stop the run? We don't know yet. Now we can all project, and I project them to be better against the run, obviously, clearly, but we don't know yet. That's a projection, right? So, but this guy right here helps the situation. He certainly doesn't, he doesn't hurt it. And a key thing too is Nick Hicks. I don't know if you guys saw him, but Nick Hicks is out here saying we ain't done. So, well, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I don't think they're done. I mean, I do think they'll add bodies. I think there's going to be a couple guys that get cut or whatever that make it, that they try to make a run at. Maybe they circle back Tretter. The longer Tretter's market stays cool, the more open that guy's going to be coming to Miami and playing in the heat. Let's call a spade a spade. He got to get paid one way or another. I know people want Akeem Hicks. I don't think Akeem Hicks is going to come now. This might have killed that. Would I love Akeem Hicks? Hell to the yes. Hell to the yes. Another guy who can flex as an end. Can put just a good interior defender. So yes, I would like him. I don't know if I see that happening. I think the Melvin Ingram addition might have stunted that, but hey. And, as far as center is concerned, again, if you're not going to get Tretter, continue Dieter's development for 1 year and watch the wire through training camp because names always get cut that can make an impact. Pyro, we're not getting Carlos Dunlap after they just signed Melvin Ingram. Stop. You want Dunlap. So I love the Melvin Ingram signing. I think it offers a ton of flexibility. I think it's going to, again, I already said Ogba, keeping him around, signing him was crucial for continuing the development at the rate it's going at for Phillips. Just leaning on those guys and not being the sole, pass rusher that defenses can focus on. This adds another layer, another guy they got to watch for. So again, it becomes a harder task to double an Ogba or Phillips when Ingram's on the other side. You know what I mean? when AVG keeps playing. I think AVG should get some inside linebacker snaps this year. I really do. When Wilkins continues his trajectory upwards that he's been having, again, it's going to be a thinking man's game for offensive coordinators and how they prioritize and where they prioritize the protection. It's going to be very interesting to see because you can only double so much, just like with our speed. You can only do so much against that speed. You can only put so much attention towards one person without another guy is going to kill you. Same thing's now happening with a pass rush. You can only put so much attention to one player, and you got too many other guys to worry about. So super, super interesting, man. It's a beautiful thing. I love how this defense is looking. I love how it's setting up. Exciting stuff moving forward for the Miami Dolphins. I go back to it. Kudos to this new regime. Kudos to the recognition of we need more veterans in this. We need to find the blend here. And you see they've added. You see the vision coming to fruition right now. Guys, check your motherfucking pulse. How can you not be excited right now? Even vampires got a pulse right now. Even zombies got a pulse right now if they're in Dolphins gear. Real talk. It's exciting. Like, it's got me in a better mood talking about this. You know what I mean? It's got me in a better mood talking about this. I've forgotten my woes from an hour ago. I have 45 minutes ago, whatever. So, man, I told y'all before we signed McDaniel as our head coach, and I told y'all when we signed him, and I'm going to continue saying it. Tell me this doesn't feel different. Now y'all know what I keep telling y'all. Whenever we make a good move, I keep putting it in your head. Now y'all know why I took so much offense to when people were out here trying to tell all of you, oh, this is another Cam Cameron. This is another Adam Gase. When those people didn't know what they're talking about and they're leading y'all astray, I was the voice of reason. And I'll continue to be that voice of reason. But you look at this landscape right now, Mike McDaniel has done more for this team and put this team in a better position to be successful in a matter of months than what Flores had in 3 years. And Flores could have done it. But the difference is, and something I talked about getting Mike McDaniel from that coaching tree, was the selflessness, the ego left at the door, I know I'm a genius, I know I have a high football IQ, but I'm humble. I can humble myself. That's been the big difference right now, I think. And look at Greer. Greer is in a whole new element. He's laughing like more than ever you see it during media availabilities. Greer laughing all the time. Go watch the post-draft media availability. The energy, the vibe is just different. Guys, I truly think this team is on its way to winning a championship in that 4-year window I keep talking about. Remember, you look at Tyreek's contract. When that $50.1 million cap hits in 2026, that tells you they got up till 2026 to win. So we got 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I truly believe we can do it. No, I'm not worried about Ingram's age because he is going to be on a rotation, guys. He is not going to be doing anything. He's going to be on a rotation. I'm not worried about his age, because his production is good. The Melvin Ingram signing is absolutely fantastic. And the effort and the work put in by our staff, our front office, you got to give props. Guys, I forgot when we went live for the schedule release to show you guys this. So I want to show you this because it segues into another story. the Dolphins preseason schedule, guys, they're going to actually open up against the Bucs. And then they're going to take on the Raiders and the Eagles, both at home. Obviously, game 3 against the Eagles, we'll live react with it. We'll all watch it, but don't expect anyone to be playing. You know what I mean? And obviously, it looks like I would expect the Raiders game probably see the most work from our starters. But that's the preseason schedule. And the reason why I'm showing you guys that is this, guys. In case you didn't know, it was announced yesterday that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins are actually going to be holding joint practices. And the Palm Beach Post said this. It said Mike McDaniel is wasting no time getting his feet wet. The Dolphins will hold joint practices in Tampa before their exhibition opener against the Buccaneers on Saturday, August 13th. A league source confirmed to the Post. The arrangement was first reported by The Athletic. The last time the Dolphins played in Tampa in the preseason, and remember, we're having a joint practice because we open up against the preseason against them, right? They also held joint practices with the Bucs the last time they played them in the preseason. Chances are the teams will practice together on Wednesday and Thursday of that week at the Bucs training facility. It's going to be very interesting to see that. Remember last year, the training camp coverage is, another thing I know a lot of you love is the training camp coverage I give you guys on this channel, and it'll continue to be top notch this year. I'm going to be down there this year for a week, and I'm going to give you live boots on the ground coverage too. And I'm planning to have a couple YouTube friends there, so we'll have a little bit of a panel potentially. But you remember how the eyes on the joint practices last year with, like, say, the Bears and such. We really wanted to see how Tua performed against his defenses. It's going to be interesting to see in the joint practices how our offense, especially our offensive line, not just Tua, but to gauge everything against another team's defense. It's going to be very interesting. So I can't wait. I'm actually kind of excited for that. And even our defense against Tom Brady, it's going to be very interesting. By that point in the preseason, they will offer McDaniel and Dolphins a fresh break after a couple of weeks of dealing with one another in the hot sun. It will also offer coordinator Josh Boyer a chance to match wits with Tom Brady in a workout setting. And I also got to say this, guys. You got to wonder if he hit up, if Tommy Boy hit up Bruce Beal and said, "Hey, buddy, let's get together." You know what I mean? Is this already the owner at work, the minority owner at work here, setting up the preseason? Oh my God, this is just hilarious. Because someone's gonna ask him about the rumors about him in Miami. Someone's gonna ask him about it. They just have to. Bruce Arians was the Bucs coach the last time the teams practiced together. This time it will be Todd Bowles, a former Dolphins assistant, in his first season as Bucs head coach. The Dolphins' other preseason games are again at the home against the Raiders and the Eagles. The Dolphins and Falcons practiced together in Miami Gardens, and then the Bears did too, right? So, I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to be the guy who's got the balls and asks Tom Brady the tough question? I mean, really, who's going to be the guy? Because if they need me to be the guy, I will offer my services. I will offer my services. Shout out to DDW in the chat, homie. What's going on, brother? What are you working on right now while you listen to me, bro? Let me know. A little Phinside after dark. You already know what time it is. Interesting little stat too. Again, an addition I love, and hopefully, Cedrick gives me this year what Albert didn't give me last year, and yet the name on the back of the jersey stays the same. Cedric Wilson had 138 passer rating generated when targeted on intermediate throws last year, which was the 8th highest among all wide receivers. Listen, if you watched what I said in my prospect preview about Eric Azukuma that I dropped yesterday, first of all, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. A bunch of all 22 in there. Made it easier on your guys' eyes to identify where players are on the field and such too. Go check it out. But also, I said, Cedric, you saw what he did buried behind Amari, CD, and Gallup. He still was out here making noise. You know what I mean? Now he's locked in as a number 3. I see him making more noise. The issue that is going to be at hand for him and Bowden, because I got Bowden locked in at 4, Cedrick at 3. The issue for them is Eric Ezekiel is going to be chomping at the bit and biting at their ankles to get snaps. And that's why I said, someone asked me earlier, reason, is 2 of the only question mark here. I said, no, obviously center, right tackle, and we got to see if we can stop the run, especially at the second level. But another thing I mentioned too was the health-wise, because the wide receiver core, knock on wood, every year the last couple of years, we've been banged up. You know what I mean? So Cedrick could even find himself shifting up the depth chart, God forbid, if Tyreek or Jalen, oh my God, shoot me in the face if they get if they get knocked out. But I'm telling you right now, if Cedric goes down, Bowden and Azukuma are going to be right on his heels. Eric Azukuma, guys, is going to be a legit red zone threat this year. Watch, mark my words. You're going to see his role grow over the first 8-9 weeks. Last half of the season, watch. He's going to be quietly good. I'm telling you right now. And if you go back and you listen to my in-depth preview, you'll hear why, and you watch the All-22, you'll see why. So we're talking about like gazelle-like stride. So, man, but you know what I love here? This is why I wanted to point this out. Cedric Wilson being an intermediate level threat, A, perfect for a quarterback, but B, and most importantly, B, perfect for our offense, right? Because we are going to be with that West Coast foundation put in on the passing game. You're going to see a lot of short to intermediate stuff. So for me, adds another layer to how great of a signing this is. That second level is where in this offense Tua is going to have to eat. And Cedric Wilson being the type of guy he is at the second level, it's absolutely perfect for this offense. I can't say enough good about signing. I know we were all a little stressed out for the first couple of days because there was just little additions here, little additions there. But as you sit back and you look at, Alec Ingold's quietly one of my favorite additions of this past offseason. I mean, there's just really no doubt about it. And you look at all the small additions they did to this team. I mean, tell me, from big additions to small additions, everything's been smart and strategic, which this is why I'm not stressing center and right tackle like I know some people are. If Tretter don't want to come here because he doesn't want to play in the heat, cool. The reason why I'm not stressing is because I know these guys have a plan in place. I've told y'all before, one of the things I love about McDaniel is how OCD he is. And the reason why I say that is because when someone is OCD and that meticulous, they're going to expect the same from the people they surround themselves with, coordinators, positional coaches, players themselves. So, I mean, that's exactly why I reported what I heard about them walking in now not liking Tua's film study habits. Right? That's why. Is because they have a certain way they want to do things. They have a certain way they see things. And when players aren't aligned with that, what can you say? Right? Now, I already think this is an offseason A+. I know people are out here saying, well, if we get Tretter, it's an A+. But, guys, Tretter's more of a cherry on the top right now. How are people not giving this offseason an A+? Channing Tindall was a fantastic pick. Eric Azukuma is a fantastic pick. Our UDFA class has, I like I said, Braylon Sanders is going to be fighting for a special team spot. He'll be on the practice squad. He could be on the roster next year. So Quandre White, I think, is going to give a legitimate shot at running back 4, and you'll see on my prospect preview. And I think he's going to go fighting. Now, he's probably going to end up on the practice squad, but I think he's got a legitimate shot. Kellen Deesh, I think, has a legitimate shot to be at least a swing tackle. I think he'll displace Greg Little. And Verone McKinley, you watch the tape, you watch the player. Verone McKinley is going to make this team. Now, if Tretter comes here, sure, I'll go ahead and I'll give this an A++. But, everyone out here, we've gone from a team that had a whole bunch of needs that needed to really be fixed to now we've got like only a few. And that was one off season. Imagine what they'll do next year with all the capital we have. Draft-wise. I mean, we got 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. That is potentially a lot of blue chip talent added. I could see that kills McKinley as a Fedulum replacement. I like that. What grade would I give the O-line right now, John? A B-. Obviously, Taron Armstead, A+. Connor Williams, an A. Dieter, C-. Robert Hunt, I'll give him a A-. And then Austin Jackson Eichenberg, as it sits right now, D+. So that's where I'm at. But you look at it right there. You pointed out, Chucky, 5 picks in the first 80 selections next year. Think about that. You got a chance to get 5 of at least the top 75 players. And guys are going to be overdrafted. And early on, from what we saw this year, with the 2 picks that mattered, the Tyndall and Izukama pick, made pretty good freaking selections. Again, how I feel about late rounders in the 7th. They're just glorified UDFAs, just like late first rounders are glorified second rounders. You never have 32 first round grades. So, this is, I know a lot of people were excited about Robert Jones, but it's rare for me to be this excited about a UDFA class. Like, we got some, like, I like Trill Williams, but we didn't acquire, we traded, we picked them up off waivers, right? Right? Because he failed like a physical or something like that with Cleveland. But, who was it? I think he was originally a UDFA, a 7th rounder UDFA. But, I mean, we got some legit ballers here, people. I really think we do. And Duke, I know the worst position on the team is to his blind side. And I'm going to tell you guys, I've had this conversation with Richmond Webb. Maybe next time I have him up here, I'll put the receipt out for you so you guys can hear it from the man himself. But see, the thing is, if you get left tackle, left guard, center, and right guard all sewn up, and your right tackle is still your questionable guy, Tua, with already his elite pocket presence and feel and awareness in the pocket, think of it. That awareness, that pocket presence, that feel, it's all going to be, mainly focused on that blind side. So what I'm saying is like his spidey sense is going to be heightened for that right side. You're just going to have an extra feel with it. You're going to expect it. You're going to start moving around with your feet and up in the pocket away from that side just naturally, right? Because you're just going to have that feel. You're going to have a set of eyes. The thing what Richmond says is this. At least if you have all those other 4 positions shored up, you know where the pressure's coming from. Whereas last year, you didn't know if it's coming from, the left A gap, left B gap, off the edge, the A gap, straight up the middle with someone getting, with Dieter getting pancaked, up the right B gap, off the right edge. You didn't know where it was coming from. Now we at least know. That's why I don't see them moving Connor to center. If you keep Connor at left, you at least know Tua don't got to worry about the left side. Right? He does not have to, be over aware and over cautious based off the left side. He'll only have to worry about the blind side, which is just going to be an extra feel. And again, all we need is center and right tackle. Just give me competent play. I don't need Pro Bowl play. Let Taron Armstead be the top 3 guy in the NFL. He is at his position. Let Connor Williams be one of the better guards in the NFL at his position on the left side. Let Hunt continue his trajectory towards being an all-pro guard, and just give me competent play at center, competent play at right tackle. And I'm telling you, we have a top 20 offensive line in and about. I would safely say 18 to 22. And that's a whole hell of a lot better than 32. And you get by this year with that. And next year, with all that capital you have, you make the appropriate changes and additions. That's how you play this out. So, because I'm telling you right now, this close, there's not going to be big names at center or right tackle available. You know, right now you're going to get a backup. And you're going to hope to elevate as a starter. So, you know, that's it. You know, we got our stud, we got our Pro Bowler, we got our franchise tackle on the left side. Now, I need competence. I'm not asking for the world. Philip Ledoux, could Akeem Hicks be the final rotational piece of the stellar D? FYI, D. Cronenberg is from Toronto. Another excellent show by you again. Thank you. I don't see, you know, Akeem Hicks, you know, that's a rotational interior guy, right? So that would be an end, or you kick him in. You know, you kick him in. That guy can play, you know, you can kick him in as a 0, as a 3, as a, you know, there's just a lot of things you can do with him. But, you know, again, we got guys who can do that with Butler, Raekwon, you know, Seiler can do it. Wilkins, obviously, end. So, hey, would I be down for Akeem Hicks? Sure. But, I mean, do I think there's a pressing need for him right now? No. Like, to be honest with you, if I could get another linebacker, give me a linebacker. Give me a linebacker. Exactly, Ron. Remember all the cuts that came out of nowhere from the Raiders last year, right? That's why you hold on to money. You know, that's why you gotta have money in the bank, because guys are gonna get cut. Someone's going to emerge in some camp somewhere and displace a veteran who was locked in as a starter, and boom, he hits the market. You know, that's the way you got to play it. That's what you got to look for. So, listen, we're in a position where next year, where guys, dude, the flexibility we're going to have in that draft, I mean, you know, the thing is, if you would have got center, or, you know, at least one of center or right tackle situated, next year you could have gone in and taken whichever one was left over between center and right tackle, and a corner higher to replace Byron Jones, because I think, you know, I know they're flirting around the corner draft market and already this year, and that makes me think they're going to flirt even heavier next year, especially with higher capital and a pressing need. Now, like I've told you, you know, and I told you guys this a while ago, that I heard that Noah Igbenogany was one of the hardest workers in the room, doing his film study, just wasn't translating the film to the field. And then you hear Sam Madison come out and say he's one of the hardest workers he's been around. So, you know, I personally ain't putting stock in Noah hit. If he hits this year, great. We don't got to spend a pick. But I honestly see next year, if they're moving off Byron, they've already put that writing on the wall. They're going to invest high capital next year on a corner to pair with X. I really honestly believe that. So I think that's what makes the most sense, to be quite honest with you. Personally, there's, you know, if we can get Keely Ringo next year, oh my God, and pair him up. And I know, Rome, you a fan of him. That corner class next year is really good. And you're right, Rome, I just saw you. The running back class next year is good too. Man, I wish we were in the position where we could just come next year and we could just come hard, man. And we could go get Bijan Robinson and Keely Ringo in the first and just be like, now what? Now what? Now what? Imagine that if we could come out with Bijan Robinson and Keely Ringo next year. You know, San Fran, they suck. We use that on Keely. We ball out and use that on Bijan late in the first. Boom. Let's go. Bro, Keely is that dude. I'm telling you. Rome knows what's up. Anyone who watched that Georgia defense is here knows what's up too, man. Yeah, I like Jahmyr Gibbs too. The running back class next year, guys, you know, the quarterback class and the running back class and the corner class is freaking loaded. But that running back class, guys, whoo-wee. There are some. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sean Tucker, Tank Bigsby, my boy Zach Charbonnet's coming out, Zach Evans, Mo Ibrahim, Kendall Milton, Eric Gray, Blake Corum. Like, there's a lot of good running backs coming out next year. Like, I love next year's class. It's better than this year's class. Big time. Oh, Florida born. I love Noah Sewell. I'm hoping Justin Flo stays healthy this year too and ups his draft stock. Another killer linebacker. Noah Sewell is probably one of the hardest hitters in this draft, though. But yeah, next year's class is running back is disgusting. Yeah, that running back class next year is disgusting, and I love that corner class. So I'm hoping we can come out with a stud corner and a stud running back next year, and we can come out with that center and that right. Listen, if our 4 of our first 5 picks are a corner, a running back, a center. Actually, let's make all 5 of our picks this. A corner, a center, right? A corner, a center, a right tackle, a running back. And I'm sorry, people. I got to go back to the well. I know I'll take another linebacker. If our 5 picks, our first 5 are that next year, we eaten. So I'm excited, man. I haven't even started like diving, and I've only started diving in positions. I've dived into quarterback, obviously, already. I've dived into running back, and I've dived into quarterback, and now offensive line is next up on the docket for me for next year's class. So I've already started like putting together my list of like guys to watch. So next year is a good class. I can't wait, man. And I know that's why they're being protective of their capital for next year. 110%, man. So, and you know, from what I've been told, this staff really loves Hunter Long. So next year is a good draft year, man. Like, it is a good draft year for a lot of different positions. So I know we're just coming off the draft, and I'm not gonna kill y'all with draft talk right now. But next year, guys, just wait. There's a reason why me and Rome Gray are wilding out when we're talking about certain positions. Because you've been watching, it's good next year. All right, guys. Here is the deal. I'm gonna be back either tomorrow or Tuesday. When did the Heat open up? The Heat open up tomorrow, or they open up Tuesday? I'll take care of your Real Steel. When did the Heat open up? The Heat open up on Tuesday, right? I want to say they open up on Tuesday with the Celtics. So, yeah, Tuesday. So, you know, I'll be back either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to start getting to work on the next prospect preview we'll be dropping this week. Yeah, so if it is on Tuesday, I'll be after the Heat game or before the Heat game. Don't worry, I won't conflict with y'all Heat game. But if there's news to talk about tomorrow, we'll be live. I got a couple things planned coming up. But prospect preview coming this week. Another one as we continue on. So yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all. Over 600 of you joined me tonight at after 11 o'clock, man. So I appreciate all of y'all. I will see all of you guys either tomorrow or Tuesday. Be out on the lookout. If I'm hitting y'all tomorrow, it'll be around 8 o'clock. If I'm hitting you guys on Tuesday, it'll be just before the Heat game or after it. And if anything breaks, today was an oddity. I just had a lot going on. I will be live as soon as it breaks. Listen, I love each and every one of you. I hope all of y'all had a blessed weekend. Have a fantastic Monday. I know they suck to roll out of the bed for and get, but go out and get that bag. Go out and be the best version of yourself this week. I will see all of y'all either tomorrow or Tuesday. I love each and every one of you. And as always, you already know what time it is, baby. Fins up all day, every day, baby.